Hey everyone, my name's Jade and I'm looking forward to talking you through my work today. So, the objectives of my project is to empower people to learn new vocabulary. This is something a lot of people want to do, however it's very difficult to find the time and resources. This is where my app, Vocablet, comes in. So, first of all, who is Vocablet for? Well, in order to define my target audience, I first had to do some research. The first thing I did was some competitive research, where I looked into free apps on the market that specialise in learning vocabulary, and most of these were geared towards learning a new language. It was great getting this insight into what apps were currently out there. Next up, user research. I conducted 3 interviews with people who currently or have recently used language learning apps. I got a really good insight into why people want to learn vocabulary, how they normally do it, and their thoughts and feelings about current apps and language learning in general. It's time to meet Rowan Peters, the proto-persona for this app. Hey Rowan, I like your hat. So, a bit about Rowan. He's 25 and is originally from the UK. He'll be moving to Canada soon, however, so he really wants to learn French so he can fit in and make some new friends. Makes sense. He's currently a bar manager, which he loves mostly. He loves the social aspect, but he doesn't get much time to relax. And in his free time, he's also a game designer. So, like all of us, Rowan has some goals and needs. So, specifically to learning language though, Rowan's goals are to learn some basic French, be able to have conversations with people in Canada, be able to learn new vocabulary every day so he can keep on top of it and keep progressing, and spend a short amount of time on the app each time, usually in between his hectic shifts and on breaks at work. So, here we have some challenges faced by Rowan. So, like we have already discussed, Rowan is crazy busy and so doesn't have a lot of time each day to learn. He gets frustrated easy when he forgets words he has already learnt, which makes sense. He doesn't want to keep relearning the same words or have to go back. He wants to learn more and more each time. And he doesn't want to learn vocabulary just for the sake of it. He wants to actually communicate with other French speakers. So that brings us on to our problem statement. So the problem statement is Rowan needs a way to learn new vocabulary a little and often every day because he's very busy and works many hours. We all know this to be true when we see that Rowan consistently manages to learn new vocabulary every day, even when juggling work. So how are we going to achieve this and prove it? Well, the hypothesis statement for this app is, I believe that by creating an engaging and personalised app that allows Rowan to keep up to date with other learners' flashcards, schedule quizzes and create a folder of useful phrases, we will achieve in having Rowan learn new vocabulary every day and feeling confident having conversations with people in his new city. We will therefore receive consistent positive feedback and continue to gain more users on the platform. So it's time to get sketching. And this is what I came up with. So, to make things quicker for Rowan to sign in, I thought the option to sign in through Google or Facebook was important. Also, he's a busy guy, so I didn't want to make him sit through onboarding if he didn't want to. So the skip option is there if he's really looking for it. Okay, so Rowan's now signed in. Great. Well, on to creating flashcard set. So, right on the homepage, there's a large plus where he can do just that. He can now make as many flashcards as he wants, save it, and view them when he's made them. So, finally, he wants to create a quiz to test his knowledge. So again, right away on the home screen, he can do this with the take a quiz option in the top right hand corner. He can then personalise the quiz to the number of questions he has time for and on the sets he actually wants to be tested on, and then take the quiz before seeing his results. Perfect. Well, probably not. It's time to get testing. So, on this slide, you can see the usability test plan. There were four user tests over Skype and they lasted roughly 15 minutes. As for the tasks, well, I used a mixture of direct and scenario-based tasks. I definitely found that users responded better to the scenario-based tasks as it gave users that bit of context and an understanding of why they are actually doing it so they can really engage with the prototype. So, surprise, surprise, my prototype was not perfect. Well, that's great. because I got some really good insightful feedback, as you can see on the screen. So these are some direct quotes, but to summarise, users thought it was hard to see the Create Account button as it was at the bottom of the screen. When creating a set, users thought the title Create Set was actually a button to be pressed. And when viewing the flashcards, it was hard to tell if it was the set title or the actual flashcard information on the screen. Looks like some changes are needed. So, what did I do? Well, I created a new sign-in, sign-up screen that comes on straight after the splash screen so that users can see their options straight away. I made the skip button on the onboard smaller so people would look to continue before looking to skip. And I made a flashcard set title on the view flashcard page. And last but not least, I gave the Create Set page a title. Hooray! So, next steps. So my next steps verify the revisions made by testing on users to see if the issues identified are resolved. Create a schedule page so users can plan their learning around their busy schedule. Create a search feature so users can look at other students' flashcard sets and learn with others in a collaborative way. And create wireframes for this and test it with app users to see whether this has been resolved and issues have been identified. Oops, sorry. Just going to go back a bit there. So, a glimpse into the future. So you'll see here 2 new pages that will be added. These are the schedule pages and the search pages. The first profile screen has already been tested and is just to show it digitalised. Then the following 2 screens, the schedule page where users can schedule a quiz, a revision session or a learn session, which would help users to prioritise their time around their busy lives, and also a search page so users can search for other people's flashcards and connect with other learners to create a more collaborative learning experience. So what I've learned? Well, I've learned that it's great to start with sketching out wireframes rather than digital, as you're likely to change the wireframes anyway. Keep proto-persona information relevant. This will help keep the problem statement on track. Keeping each app screen simple stops users getting frustrated. And sticking to the project brief is very important, and it's very easy to go off track. This is something that I did, but I did manage to look back over the project brief again and then get back on track. It's important when sketching your wireframes to make them the correct size to fit nicely into the digital prototype, and make sure to create enough wireframes for your prototype so users can fully engage your app. So if I was to do this again, I'd definitely make more onboarding screens that can be tested on the prototype, because I did find that users were a little bit confused and didn't quite understand what the onboarding was because there's only 1 page. So thank you for your time. I've really enjoyed making this app, and if you've got any questions, let me know.